get pinched by one like that. And I went like this, and it wouldn't let go.
My friend Elijah yesterday taught me how to turn barnacles into powder.
Bueno, como ya dije, entonces estamos aquí, está haciendo un viento tremendo. Estamos aquí en Searsport. ¿Qué les parece Searsport? No saben porque no han visto nada todavía, pero les voy a enseñar aquí esta vista que tiene esta casa. Miren esa vista que tiene esta casa, mira. Esta casa está en el tope de una montaña. Y abajo, eso que ustedes están viendo allá abajo es el mar. ¿Qué les parece eso? Y esta es la casa del dueño de la casa en donde está mi hija y mi yerno, en el sitio este que se llama Searsport. Una maravilla. It's fine. So we're going. Where are we going?
We are going to the beach at Searsport, outside of Belfast, Maine.
There you go. And so this beach is a typical Maine beach, which is well, you'll see when you get there.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah. And
so the thing that we love about these beaches is the tide change, because the tides change like 6 feet, not just a few inches like we see in Florida, but they change many, many feet, uncovering all these cool little areas where crabs live, and you can find eels, and you can find conchs, and you can find periwinkles.
Periwinkles!
Just amazing.
Yeah. All right. So can you cannot eat the crabs out of that thing?
I don't think they would make very much food. They're pretty small crabs.
Small crabs. Yeah. So this town is pretty cool. No, this is a very small town. And actually, it's so small of a town that it only has one road. So A1, and
one
that's
road and one stoplight.
Yeah. Beach, and this is Sina. Going down the stairs, going to the beach.
Obviously, they know everything you're saying right now.
Yeah. So the beach right here. See? I'm following Sina into the beach. Está la marea baja, la playa está por allá lejos, y mira dónde está Sina, por allá, ¿no? Entonces los niños lo que hacen aquí es que agarran cangrejos. Entonces Sina está allá pescando cangrejos con los amigos. Y por ahí viene la gringa y Alay, que viene por ahí. Entonces esta gente, ellos vienen a la playa y se sientan en la playa y todo. Y Sina va por allá como un loco. Entonces va a llegar hasta la punta de allá. Ven aquel velero que está allá. Yo espero que no haya nadie en ese velero porque están dando unos tortazos increíbles ahorita. Esta es la playa. Y ya. Y la gente nada más que viene a esta playa cuando la marea está baja. Las mareas aquí en Maine pueden bajar hasta 6 pies, que son como 3, 4 metros más o menos. Y bajan hasta 6 pies y causan esto que está aquí. Entonces todas estas matas que están aquí, todas estas algas que están aquí, si uno jurunga el alga por dentro, ahí hay que sí cangrejos y hay un poco de cosas metidas por ahí. Los niños les encanta meter la mano y sacar cangrejos y sacar qué sé yo qué cosa de ahí. Pero por aquí vamos. El viento hace bastante viento. Hay lo que llaman white caps, que significa que el viento está como unos 10 nudos más o menos. Y entonces ahí está todo el mundo jugando en la playa. Y esta es la playa de Maine. ¿Qué les parece esto, no? Entonces allá ahí tienen como un puerto donde tienen unas lanchitas amarradas. El velero aquel. Ay, no me gustaría ahorita estar montado en ese velero. Ni de broma.
Mommy, we have a rule with crabs. That's what it is.
What is the rule with the crabs?
Only touch them by the back.
Only touch it by the back.
And if you touch it by the front, then they'll put them by the back.
Oh, and they pinch you?
No, she don't.
Oh, okay.
Then they won't.
Oh, okay.
Only touch them one.
Okay. Then, you know what? I'm not going to touch any crabs because I don't want them to pinch me at all. Where's Sina? Oh, over there. Ah,
What is it?
he's over there. Here is la gringa. Look at all these things, man.
There's fishing.
I know.
Don't get your shoes wet.
Yeah. Just little fish in here.
Don't step on crumbs. Abuela, don't step on crumbs. Don't step on crumbs. Don't.
Yeah, don't touch the conchs.
I am touching.
Oh, okay.
I was touching the barnacles. These are barnacles.
Barnacles.
I don't step on crumbs.
Oh, don't step on conchs.
No, I think these are rocks.
Oh, those white things there? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No?
Crumbs have little holes.
Oh, they have little holes.
Yes. That's where the crabs go out.
Oh, I see.
So don't step on them.
Oh, let's find one. Oh, look. I like this one right here.
That's right.
There's one right there. See it?
And there's one right here.
And he's alive. Look.
This is what conch looks like.
I know, I got one right
And
here.
put it in the water.
Yeah.
So the guy at the house told us
Abuela, this is a conch. This
Oh,
is a
really?
conch.
big hermit
This
crab.
is a conch.
Me and Cena are gonna look, and if we find them, we'll call you guys.
Oh, wow. Out
That
there.
big area out there. Look
Okay.
at that crab, dude.
Well, we'll go.
Wanna all come on?
Yeah.
It's I need a big enough rock because my friend Elijah yesterday taught me how to turn barnacles into powder.
Oh, by smashing them?
No, by getting a rock, find a barnacle, come over, giant talk with the rock, and when I go to I'm going to teach you how to turn that into powder. Come on, Bible.
All right.
At least two.
Whoa.
There, right there. You see how high it is? Now you
Así que pues esto es la playa. Y voy a parar esto aquí porque está haciendo mucho viento y no sé si el sonido va a estar bien. Pero aquí eso es lo que se hace aquí en la playa.
Andy, I was wondering, since you've been in Maine for a month, what is your favorite thing that you've seen since you've been here?
Wow, there's a long list there. Some of our favorite stuff to do is go by the ports because there's a big shipyard here in Belfast with ships from all around the world getting worked on. So they have to pull these giant ships out of the water and then actually move the ships around. So you get to see them from top to bottom, stern to aft, and it's just a beautiful thing. And they've all got different languages and different people. And then in that same dockyard, you can go a quarter mile in one direction and get some locally made ice cream from a local creamery, and then you can go a half block in the other direction and get like a lobster roll and some fresh crabs. So that's just a beautiful area here in Belfast to do multiple things. And then of course you've got beautiful parks in the area and amazing hikes. And for me, I feel like you can find beautiful parks and amazing hikes in lots of places. But to have it all so there, just so available and within just a few minutes drive is excellent.
And you're from Florida, right?
Correct.
So what do you think of the weather here in June?
This is such a treat compared to what we have in Florida in June. And there's days that we wake up here and put on jackets. There's days I ride my bike from the house where we're staying to the gym, which is about 3 or 4 miles in the morning. And some days I have to put on 2 or 3 layers before I go on that bike ride. And it feels so good to have cool weather for us. The kids are outside. You're never outside in June and July.
Right.
In Florida. So this has been really excellent.
Oh, what about the bugs? I know Florida has terrible mosquitoes. What do you think about bugs here?
What I found out is that we accidentally picked a very good place to stay because this little city here has the sea breeze. You can see the ocean right here all around
Yes,
us.
it's beautiful.
So the sea breeze is constant. So mosquitoes and black flies and horse flies, all the things that you hear about make Maine a terrible place, they're here, but they get blown away in this little
They're
area.
in the woods.
So when we go a mile that way to start hiking,
Right.
then they all come out and we've got to spray ourselves down.
Right.
But the only thing we worry about here is really just ticks and the little critters that bite you from inside the grass, not the stuff that flies.
I didn't even know there was stuff in the grass. Okay. And what about the beaches compared to Florida? How would you describe it?
They're totally different. Florida beaches are the kind of beach where you lay out in the sand and you sunbathe. You'll spend a half a day there with your tent and your picnic blanket, and it's just beautiful, crystal clear blue water, and it's hot. Here, you have to pick when you go to the beach because the tide changes so much. If you put an umbrella in the grass and have a picnic, you're liable to be underwater 2 hours later.
Wow.
And the rock, you can see the beaches here are rocky and they're wet almost all the time because the tide's always changing.
Right.
So it's hard to find a dry patch of reliable beach where you could actually spend half a day. But that doesn't keep people here from going out. The Mainers are brave.
Right.
They go in this 57-degree water. They hang out on the beach for 3 or 4 hours with their kids and their pets, and they just know when it's time to evacuate the beach before the tide comes in.
But I noticed that they always seem to have picnic tables like up on the hills.
Yeah.
Even though the water comes in, they're having a lovely time still looking at the water.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's one of the things that's been really impressive about the whole state is all the coastal cities are built around the water. It's cultural here, it seems like, the connection between the ocean on the coast being a source of life. Mm-hmm. The fishermen, the boat culture, the way people drive. They drive according to boating rules, not really according to driving rules.
Right.
So you see that, just like you were saying, all the picnics, there's always green space next to the water. In the best parts of America, in the best parts of Florida, you've got construction right up to the beach.
Yeah.
And you've got condos and hotels building one story above each other just so they can get a better view.
Right.
Here, I mean, construction, it doesn't start until half a mile away from the beach, and even then it's a lot of these residential homes, and it's been very beautiful just to be here.
You've been able to see some of the lighthouses, haven't you, since you've been here? What do you think of them?
Yeah, the lighthouses are really cool. I had no idea that the lighthouses are still maintained by the U.S. Coast Guard, which is just fascinating to me. And then hearing some of the stories and seeing the tide myself, I can see how treacherous these waters must have been for seafaring captains, 50 years ago, let alone, 2 months ago. I'm sure it's just as dangerous even now. So the lighthouses have been beautiful. All of not just the big boating areas like the boat area up here, but there's little wooden boat shops and carpentry shops that focus exclusively on wooden boats, fiberglass shops, and there's a lot of small business that makes Maine run, and that's not something I'm used to seeing. I feel like once I crossed north of New Hampshire, it became a completely different version of America.
It's so much more like community, I feel like, here in Maine. A lot of family businesses, a lot of close friends, such small little towns that everyone knows everyone, everyone's supportive of everyone, and I imagine in the winter when everyone's snowed in, that's very important.
I bet that's, not just in the winter is probably 5 or 6 months long here.
Yes.
So that closeness is important. It's funny, when I hear people talk about going shopping in small businesses, like people going to the grocery store or people going, it's like the hardware store, the tailor, the folks who do shoe work or automobile work, they don't say I'm going to like the car shop. They say I'm going to Jim's shop, I'm going to Bill's shop. I've even heard people say I love giving Bill my money. They don't say like I love doing business with this place. They actually talk about the person and talk about giving him their money.
Makes such a difference.
Yeah. 1 second, please.
Well, I know you're tied up. I have one more question, which is, you've gone to Bangor. What did you think of Bangor compared to places like Miami? I mean, it's supposed to be a bustling city here, but compared to Miami, what would you think?
Yeah, there's no comparison between Bangor and Miami. They're two completely different cities. But I will say that as far as your center of commerce goes, Bangor was a pretty cool place, right? Like it had cafes and restaurants, it had culture, it had history. It doesn't have a lot of the natural gifts that so much of coastal Maine has. It doesn't have oceanfront property. It doesn't have sea breeze. It doesn't have, mountains that go right up to the shoreline. It's got a river that runs down the middle.
Right.
It's got Stephen King.
Right.
So it was a beautiful city for those things. But yeah, I would go back to Bangor. I thought it was a very nice place to go back to. I would fly in and out of there if I ever wanted to come to Maine. It's a convenient city. I like the fact that it's small because there's no traffic. But if I have where I am with 2 young kids, I would take Bangor over Miami any day of the week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if I was looking for a crazy night out, Bangor's not where you're going to find that.
No.
I'm pretty sure the city shuts down at 4 p.m.
I think in Maine, if you want a crazy night out, you create your own. You have the party at your house, you know.
You buy the booze from Bill down the street.
Right, that's right. You have a piñata or something, but you make them yourself, and yeah, that's the way it would work here.
I agree, and I bet it would be a fun time.
Yeah, and mostly grilling. They're really into the grill here, so that's really cool. Well, I really like Maine myself. I think it's beautiful, and I think the views are beautiful. I think the forests are beautiful. I'm not crazy about the black flies. But you know the good thing about black flies that I've learned, instead of walking fast, it makes me jog. Because if you jog, they can't catch you.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure, thank you.
Bueno, y aquí terminamos este video. Déjame dar la vuelta a la cámara para que el sol no me pegue. Terminamos este video aquí en el parque, mira. En el parquecito este, es donde todo el mundo está jugando aquí. Todos los chavos están jugando. Y aquí van todos los chavos. Y así se juega en Maine. ¿Qué les parece?
Here he goes. Cena's coming. He's coming. Oh, he's almost.
Whoa!
I'm just gonna sit down here and
The
wait.
light's coming.
All right. Oh, it's coming.
Okay, it's my turn.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Let's just sit down. Don't worry, Casey's not
There
there.
she's coming.
You better be ready.
Wow! I'm ready.